Hey everybody, it is me, Vincent, and I'm coming to you from Universal Orlando with a summer updates video. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on at the parks right now, and I want to make sure you guys have the best information to have a successful trip in July and August. We are going to check up on some of the busiest rides here at the park, find some new places to eat here at the resort, and just spend some time having fun at some of the best places to be this summer. So welcome to the latest episode of Vincent Vision. WACHOW! Yes! Hello everybody, it's me, Vincent. I'm back here at Universal Orlando and I wanted to do a summer updates video. I did one of these for spring break and I figured it was time to do one for the summer as well because the parks are the busiest they have been. And like, everything's a little different now, the restrictions have changed and stuff like that, but it is definitely so busy, so much busier than spring break, I would say. People are out traveling again. So I wanted to come to the park and give some updates on things like VelociCoaster, food, all that kind of stuff, see what's going on and maybe show you guys some things you hadn't seen yet and something you might want to look out for if you're coming to the parks during this time of year. We're going to welcome you guys to the pack and start our day off over at Islands of Adventure, where we're going to explore the park and get the best lay of the land we can get, or lay of the island of adventure. All right, let's go inside. All right, so it's about 1:30 now, which one could argue is probably the busiest time here at the parks, and these are all of the wait times. And I would say, honestly, this is pretty par for the course. I think this is what you would expect on a typical summer day. Everything that is sort of considered a major attraction is at least an hour, but not awful. You saw that VelociCoaster was only 75 minutes. Whoa, buddy. Look at that VelociCoaster. Oh, there it goes. And look at that line of people, fully extended all the way down to this side over here. Probably a little bit more. Look, finally made it to Avengers Campus. Just kidding, obviously. Spider-Man is meeting down in the store by the Spider-Man ride, but you can still meet Captain America and the X-Men and Wolverine over here where they were meeting before. But the cool thing is they actually brought the platform down so you can get a little bit more of a closer and personal one-on-one with these characters. Let's go check out the VelociCoaster. The current wait time for VelociCoaster is 75 minutes, which honestly for this ride is pretty okay, and it seems to be the average. They do have a single rider's queue as well, but it does reach capacity pretty quickly and often throughout the day. So you can see these guys are kind of just hanging out waiting for it to open again. I would honestly probably just recommend to avoid the single rider's lines altogether, and if you want to wait in line for this ride, just get in the normal line. It moves pretty quick, and yeah, it goes all the way out in the water, you're out in the sun, stuff like that, but it is moving pretty great. I've done single riders, I think, twice now, and yeah, you can get lucky and get there, and there's like nobody there, and you only wait 20 minutes or so, but sometimes you don't. And like, I waited like 45 minutes in the single riders line one time, and yes, it's shorter. It definitely doesn't feel as flowy. You know, you're not flowing through the line, you're not seeing anything, you're just in this like big gray hallway. It's not as great. And like, if you are going with your friends, just get in the regular line, unless you're here by yourself and like they just open it up. The regular line, I think, will always be a better optimal experience. Another cool thing worth mentioning about the VelociCoaster is that I don't think you should expect having to use a virtual line for this coaster. No virtual line for the brand new ride. That is great. Obviously, things could change, but they have not once used a virtual line since the ride soft opened. They didn't use it on the grand opening. They didn't use it during the busy beginning of June. It's not being used now. The ride has consistently been at a 75 to 90 minute wait, and I've heard that some wait times have got even as low as 35 minutes for VelociCoaster at the middle of the day, which is crazy to me. So like, it is nice to be able to go on the brand new ride here. That one that just flew by. Unless you are trying to be like the absolute first person to ride VelociCoaster at the start of the day, it is nice to know that you don't necessarily need to run over to the ride. They've got it pretty under control, and the ride is really reliable. This isn't like Hagrid's. When Hagrid's first opened up, for the first couple months, it was 3 to 4 hour waits. VelociCoaster has been super, super reliable. I don't think there's really been any like major downtimes as far as I'm aware of, and like the only time it ever really closes for an extended amount of time is when there is bad weather, which happens a lot. But as long as you hit the outdoor rides before 3 or 4 o'clock, which is usually when those afternoon storms roll in, like, you should be able to see VelociCoaster just fine. And every time that I've waited in line, it said 1 wait time. I've usually ended up waiting less than that. So it's been pretty easy to get on VelociCoaster, which is great. Another great thing to note is that a lot of the big play areas are open once again. So like, for example, Camp Jurassic, this is a great area to take your kids if the lines are too long for all the rides and they're maybe driving you a little bit crazy and you need to take them somewhere to run around and burn their battery. This is the place to do it. There are slides and caves and bridges to explore. This is an awesome, awesome spot to bring kids. And now that it's open, a little bit more things to do in the park. Like, see, look, fun slides. We love slides. Oh, crap. Okay. Okay.
Go, you go first.
Definitely not the intended audience for that, but it was kind of fun. So, thank you. I appreciate that. And it looks like across the water, they are building some sort of like fence or entrance to get to the VelociCoaster through that bridge over there, which is great because then you get to skip the very, very busy Hogsmeade area of the park, especially if you're not trying to do anything in that area or head straight over to VelociCoaster. I would say that another great piece of news is that you shouldn't have to worry about trying to get a virtual line for Hagrid's either. I don't think they've been using the virtual queue for a little bit here at Hagrid's, which is great, because that means you can just get here and get in line. Now, I will say, out of VelociCoaster and Hagrid's is probably the most likely to turn on their virtual queue during the busy times of the year, but right now, as it stands, it has not used it for a little while now, which is great. Isn't that crazy, not having to get a boarding group for the most popular rides in the park? Huh, what a concept. I will say the thing that unfortunately is not as great is the food situation. Food lines are still very, very long here at both parks, and honestly, if you were coming to the parks in the summer, I would expect for you to wait a decent amount of time for any sort of meal. Popcorn lines, quick service locations, it is a lot. Food lines for all those really popular places that you want to eat at, like the Three Broomsticks and Fast Food Boulevard, are gonna have some pretty long lines, so just be prepared for that. And you can like snack along the way. What I like to do sometimes is like I'll go to like a little outdoor merchandise booth. It'll always have like water and soda and stuff like that you can grab, and it's gonna save you a lot of time versus waiting in line for like a food booth for the same thing, you know what I mean? I think if you have a good chunk of time before your trip actually starts, I'd probably look into reservations for sit-down restaurants. Each park has 2 reservation-based restaurants, Mythos and Confisco at Islands of Adventure, and Finnegan's and Lombard's over at Universal Studios. And like, you can wait an hour in line trying to get a table for the Three Broomsticks, or you can wait an hour here in Mythos, inside in the AC, waiting for your entree after you've eaten your delicious appetizers, right? Or you could do what I'm gonna do, which is not, like, I wouldn't really recommend this as like the go-to way to do it, but it is a way to do things here. You could finish your business here at Islands of Adventure, conclude your business and see everything you wanted to see, and step out into City Walk, eat food, and then go over to the other park or come back into the park. The beauty about Universal Orlando Resort is that everything is so close. Once you've parked your car at the garage, you're set. And all you have to do is just like kind of walk around to get everywhere you need to go. So I'm actually gonna step out into City Walk and get some food because I'm a little bit hungry. I'm gonna be checking out somewhere that just recently opened and it has a pretty good looking menu. We're actually gonna check out Bend the Bow, which just recently opened. This used to be a sushi spot here on the 2nd level of City Walk, right by the Moe's and the Panda Express and the Whopper Bar. Universal has been stepping their food game up lately, and this menu looks pretty great. I got the 2 bows for $12. I got a kimchi and the beef brisket, and these are all the other ones that you can get. Okay, it's bow time. Ha ha ha. We got 2 bows here. This one here, this is the beef brisket bow, and this is the kimchi one. This is the one I thought was the most interesting, and then I asked the guy, I said, hey, which one is the most interesting? And he said, oh, I like this one a lot. So I got these 2 here. Look at that delicious beef brisket bow. Oh, it's so soft. I love bow. This is a great little snack you can get here. Brisket's good. It's got a little avocado cream in there as well. This is good. This is the kimchi bow. over here. I love chicken. I love spicy chicken. The sauce they have on here, the gochujang? I don't know if I got that right. I love that kind of spicy sauce. This one's great. I will say the portions it's definitely not what I expected. I thought it was gonna be a little bit bigger. I don't know if I would like go out of my way to like have lunch here, like step out of the park and have this and be like, oh, that was a full meal. Maybe if I had 3 of them, it would be good. Maybe 4. Probably 4 of these, I'd be really happy. It'd feel nice and full. Eating at City Walk does have its advantages. You know, you get to step out of the park. It's a lot quieter here. And there's also Moe's, Panda Express, and Burger King, which are really accessible to a lot of people. The sit-down restaurants here at City Walk as well tend to be a little bit easier to get into during the daytime. Like if you were to try to walk up, you have a better chance of getting a spot here at these restaurants versus the restaurants inside the park, I feel, with the exception of Toothsome. Of course, Toothsome's just always going to be popular. If you kind of jerry-rig lunch like that, you can have a pretty decent setup. Like, imagine doing the bows here, Voodoo Doughnuts, and then an iced coffee at Starbucks. Or like a milkshake or an ice cream at Cold Stone. That's kind of a way to do it if you don't want to wait in line for food anywhere else. And to test my little theory, I got myself a Voodoo Donut, and I used mobile order because the line was actually pretty long, a little bit longer than I expected, but with the mobile order to order just one donut, I was able to walk right in, show my order, and then step right out. So that's pretty great. Old VincentVision got himself one of his favorite donuts. This is the Grape Ape from Voodoo Doughnuts. It's got vanilla frosting and then like this like grape powder on it, kind of like Kool-Aid powder. It's a grape donut and it is really, really good, very delicious. I'm gonna eat this before I head into Universal Studios and see what's going on over here on this side of the resort. Hello, I'm doing well. How are you?
Just lovely as ever.
Beautiful day to be out.
Oh, it sure. It's always a good day in Hollywood.
Over here in the Jason Bourne gift shop, they've got some Horror Nights merch out. They are promoting Halloween Horror Nights 2021. And of course, Jack is back, ladies and germs. This is gonna be awesome. I'm so excited for Halloween Horror Nights this year. You get the front of the shirt over here, and on the back of the shirt right over here. Me personally, I'm hoping that they release a little bit more of those t-shirts. This is the 30th year of Halloween Horror Nights, and I would expect all the icons to come back. So I'm really, really hoping that we get a director's shirt, because that would be so cool. I think the director is probably my favorite Horror Nights icon. Something great that Universal has going for it, which is really gonna help you out during the summer, is that pretty much every ride here is indoors, with the exception of Rip Ride Rocket and the small Woody Woodpecker roller coaster in Kid Zone, which is great because if you know and you've been to Florida during the summer, during hurricane season, at some point during the day it is going to rain, and it is always more than likely in the second half of the day. So in my opinion, I think the best way to go about visiting Universal Orlando is start your day off at Islands of Adventure, do all the outdoor rides, and then come over here for the second half of the day. And of course, be prepared. Bring some sort of rain gear, even if it's one of those little tiny bagged ponchos that you can get and stick in your backpack or your fanny pack. That is going to be the best way to be able to enjoy the park and not get stopped by the rain. The thing is, like, it'll like rain really, really bad for 10, 20 minutes, and then it'll be done. So you just gotta wait it out too, okay? Please don't like see the horrible rain and be like, oh gosh, this is gonna stink. Like, it'll be really bad, and then it'll slow down, and there'll be little tiny drips and drops of rain, and you're good to go, and then you're good to go. And if you're on this side, it doesn't really matter, because everything is indoors. The only thing that'll get closed will be like Rip Ride Rocket. Of course, you gotta find ways to beat the heat here. Oh, these misters by animal actors. So good. As I say, since we were in the area, let's go check up on DreamWorks Destination, see how they're doing. DreamWorks Destination is something that just recently premiered here at the parks. This is a great way for kids to get inside, get some AC, and meet some DreamWorks characters like the Trolls, characters from Madagascar, characters from Shrek. They're all inside this building over here. We're gonna see what it looks like inside. This is pretty great. You can see a lot of people are taking advantage of the AC, but it's a lot more relaxed than it was before. Before you had to like get in a spot and go over here, but now you can kind of just go up on your own, which is nice. I think that's a much better way to go about it. This view never gets old. 4:30 now, this is the line situation for the Leaky Cauldron. Is this lunch or an early dinner? When you peek through the window here, you can get an idea of how long the line is for the Leaky Cauldron. This is how I use whenever I'm walking by this area to see how long the line is, which I feel like it's always like this. What are all these people doing gathered around this area pointing their phones toward this dragon? Is something about to happen? Hot. Oy, look at this line for butterbeer. This is usually where I go to try and get some butterbeer, but this line is pretty darn long too. Today is the perfect day for a frozen butterbeer, but I'll just have to try again some other time. I wish I could tell you when the best time to get butterbeer was. Maybe it is like right at the start of the day. It's really tough to crack the code. I've yet to crack the code on butterbeer. The longest line here at Universal is always going to be Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringotts. Right now at 4:30 in the afternoon, it is rocking a 150-minute wait. So if you were gonna do Gringotts, like honestly, just knock it out as soon as possible. Use that early park admission, go straight to Gringotts with your express if you have it, and then just like be done with it, because it's at 150 minutes. This ride is like not the newest ride. One of my favorite little Easter eggs here is the telephone booth. You can go in here and you can actually use the rotary phone to call the Ministry of Magic with this number right here. Let's see if I can do this with one hand here. 6, 2, 4, 4, 2. Hello? Oh. Can you hear it? Okay, I don't know if you heard any of that, but there is a message that plays from the Ministry of Magic from this phone right here once you do that number on the rotary. If you need a break from the heat, the exit to the Hogwarts Express over here, this King's Cross area, this is like the best spot to get AC. It is so cold, and you can just like stand here for a minute, collect yourself, and then head back out into the park because it is hot and it is humid. Another good place to beat the heat is the Jurassic World Tribute Store. This is a really cool store that you can go inside, get a bunch of Jurassic Park merchandise, and stay inside and get some AC. Jurassic Park chess set. What's this look like? Oh, that's pretty cool. I bet you the T-Rex is the queen. Whoa, I didn't see this the last time I was here. How much is this? Turns out that the big Lego T-Rex is $270. I'm not the biggest Lego guy in the world, but I do I think that's cool. I would build that. For the record. Also, another fun little Easter egg here in the parks that I don't think a lot of people know about, but these trees over here by Despicable Me, Minion Mayhem, these are actually banana trees. And I think they grow bananas every so often. Who knows? I haven't seen them, but I do know that these are banana trees, and that is pretty cool because guess what? The Minions love bananas. As the year progresses, you can see we are now at a point in time where select face coverings, if you buy one, you can get one for free. So they are trying to get rid of these. We are now officially out of the park, heading back to the garage, stopping by the Globe. Cheese! Best vacation ever. Wow. And so completes our grand tour of Universal Orlando Resort. Haha. I hope this video helps answer some questions or address some concerns you might have for your future trip here to the parks. There are tons of other videos out there by a bunch of other awesome Universal video makers that'll help you out, but I hope this one helps you out too. So with that being said, that's all I got. So thank you guys for watching Vincent Vision. Please be sure to like, subscribe, tell your friends, all that good stuff in no particular order. Universal, like I said at the start of the video, is the place you want to be this summer. It's a summer Universal, baby. VelociCoaster, Hagrid's with no virtual line, good food, air conditioning, right? A whole bunch of great reasons to come to the parks. And you know, I think you're gonna have a great time regardless, but hopefully this video makes you a little bit more prepared than you already were. So thank you guys for watching. I am gonna get on out of here. Well-deserved shower, because man, it is humid. I was literally like standing in place and like sweat was dripping down my body, down my man boobies. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye.